Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. I am Ahmed Qadri with your program Islam in the Contemporary World. What is Islam? What is contemporary world? We've been discussing about these aspects, and today's series of discussion would be unique as well as having its methodologies regarding what? Regarding media, ethics, Islam and the Western world. What is media? Usually we hear this term and we understand that media is, it may be print or electronic or some other devices which convey some messages to you. Maybe the message which you received carrying some other sort of cultural or normal or abnormal distinctive methodologies, but media itself is not only a name of machine or just a few programs. It carries your feelings, your emotions, your interaction, your relationship with humanity, your cultural heritage, your culture, your religion, just your name. It converts into media behavior. In this regard, we have invited our two important guests here in our studios. They would be discussing about media and ethics. Our first eminent personality is Mr. Munawar Mirza. He is a renowned scholar. Recently he is teaching at the university in the Department of Mass Communication, and he is a visiting professor to different universities and colleges, and he has written down his books about media and ethics. So I would welcome Mr. Munawar Mirza in our program Islam in the Contemporary World.
Thanks.
You're welcome. You're welcome. Thank you very much. And another personality, naturally, he's associated with academic world for a long time. He's been teaching in our colleges, and he has contributed for the culture, for the education, for the promotion of peace and tolerance, not only in Pakistan but also outside Pakistan. He contributes his articles, his viewpoint in popular article shape. What are these? Naturally, these are the feelings of nation. I mean Mr. Professor Haroon Rasheed. He is here with us. We welcome you in our program Islam in the Contemporary World.
Thank you, Rahman.
You're welcome.
You.
Mr. Mirza, would you kindly define the term of media and ethics? What is correlationship between media and ethics?
Dr. Saab, first of all, let us look at the word media.
Okay.
What media is doing today and what it was doing yesterday, almost it is similar. Media is meant to communicate. It is meant to inform. It is meant to educate, and also it is meant to entertain. And that has all to be done through communication.
Okay.
For this purpose, after successive centuries and years, we have developed certain technologies.
Okay.
First of all, it was the print media. Through books, through magazines, through newspapers, we used to communicate ourselves. Another was in theaters. We used to directly communicate with people. Then there was a bit more advancement of technology, came radio, and we were able to communicate and go through air, through waves.
So even like audio-visual communication is known as media.
Media.
Okay.
That. And then television, and now another revolution, and that is an internet. Online.
How about mobile or cell phones?
They are all connected. Actually, Dr. Saab, I would like to make one thing very clear. After this 21st century is actually the age of satellite. It is the age of communication.
Yeah.
People mix it that this is an atomic age. Atomic age has gone by. The real atom bomb today, the real revolution which is coming, it is coming through media. And I will give you just one example. Soviet Union, which was a superpower,
You mean USSR?
USSR,
Yeah.
now it is only just Russia. Within 10 years, the Western world was able to break it into pieces. And the major role was played by media
So you mean
and by the satellite.
Media is the powerful organ,
Of making and breaking.
yeah, and it brings change in the community, and it set up the things which are going to take place in future can be brought immediately with the help of media. So communication becomes so fast that once you think, it is done.
Yes.
Good. So our next guest, Professor Haroon Rasheed, how do you see media and ethics?
I think basically Dr. Sahab has defined media in detail and its impact on our national and international affairs, as well as the break of USSR. That was due to, a powerful propaganda through media that built a opinion against, not only against USSR, but it really explained that what way Russia is going, towards what destination. The other thing is that media has a direct link with ethics, because there must be some code of conduct, some positive, results which media or targets which media should attain. And I think that nowadays when we see and we watch televisions and other things, we read print media, and we just experience so many things through media. So basically I'm of this opinion that ethics must be made compulsory for at least these media speakers, compares and anchor persons.
I think there is.
No, I don't think so. Because just we were discussing before your program, and Dr. Sahab is a very knowledgeable person, and we came to this conclusion that out of these 50 television channels, hardly 10 channels are there which are working under certain code of conduct.
So what are the norms of ethics in Islam? Because we are Muslim, so we believe that Islam is a complete code of conduct, code of life. So in media or economy or some other stuff, all these disciplines come under Islamic teachings. So Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam clearly said, "Takhallaqu bi akhlaqillah." Create Allah's ethics in your personalities. So we have given up the basic teachings of Islam. So no matter either we are A or B or C or D, whatever we follow our profession. But the main thing is that if we don't respect humanity, we don't respect an individual, we don't respect our family members, it means that we are responsible to ruin the basic norms and ethics of anything, whatever you name it. So how can we improve the quality of ethics in our society, to referring to media?
Dr. Ahmed, you please note this, that media is basically medium of instruction nowadays. Through media, we are teaching our generation, old and young. And basically, what you suggest, what you have said now, ethics in Islam, the concept of ethics in Islam, that is tolerance,
Yeah,
that is decency,
yeah,
that is gentleness.
exactly.
So we have to judge, and we have to discuss, and we have to analyze whether this media is delivering this or not.
Our discussion is very interesting, but we have to go for a short break. Dear viewers, with a request, we are going for a short break. Please stay with us. We are coming back soon. Welcome back in our program Islam in the Contemporary World, and the discussion about media and ethics is going on. Let's ask Mr. Munawar Mirza what he says about media and ethics.
Dr. Sahab, the position of media ethics and professionalism in the Muslim countries is not of that standard which we should have expected. Today there are 53 countries, and their the Muslim population is more than 1.25 billion. I just want to give you a few figures. There are 600 daily newspapers in the Muslim countries, 1,500 weeklies, 1,200 monthlies, and 500 miscellaneous other journals.
You're talking of Islamic countries.
Islamic countries as a whole.
Islamic world.
There's only one international Islamic news agency which was established in 1981 in Jeddah by OIC, Organization of the Islamic Countries. And that too hasn't done any significant thing as far as professionalism is concerned, or about media ethics, which are correlated. Professionalism and media ethics are all correlated.
Yeah, they go all together.
Or side by side.
You cannot separate them.
Because basically the discipline of media ethics is to make the journalist responsible. It has to oversee that they do not overstep the responsibility which is given to them by the society, by the people, and by their profession. Therefore, the basic canons of journalism, they say truthfulness, objectivity, balance, impartiality, all these things,
and reliability,
integrity, all these things, credibility of the media. If you forego media ethics, then there would be nothing left to oversee the responsibility of the professionals, that is the journalists. So, if, as far as the Muslim countries are concerned, the professional standards have not been very rigorously taken up.
What do you suggest to uplift the standard of professionalism or media ethics?
You see, in this connection, there was only one conference which was held in Jakarta of the Muslim professional journalist. It was also in 1981. Almost the top journalists belonging to various media, they gathered there under the shadow of the Organization of Islamic Unity, and they tried to develop a media ethics for the Muslim journalists.
You think there is not a continuous connectivity among Muslim media groups, and they don't have interaction on the basis of workshops, seminar, conferences, and other stuff? You think there is a lack of communication in all these institutions?
I feel very, very sorry to say that the Muslim countries have not been very serious about this particular aspect. Why? There may be many other reasons, but you see, actually a free press oversees democracy, and as far as the Muslim world is concerned, there are very few countries which are actually going on according to the democratic principles, and the role of the media is a watchdog. It is said to be the fourth pillar of democracy. So until and unless you follow the rules of democracy rigorously, then you will not be able to give this importance to the media.
Professor Rasheed, as Professor Munawar Mirza has pointed out, that in Muslim Ummah, it is really sorry to say that it is felt that the media is not playing its actual role, what was expected by them. So how journalists or those who are affiliated with the media, anchors, writers, contributors, researchers, and channels, how they could promote Islamic values, customs, and traditions, and convey the message of Islam to the non-Muslim world, that Islam has a true, genuine message for humanity. What do you think about that, and how would you suggest?
I think we have bracketed media only with Muslim countries. We have to see its standards at an international level.
Yeah.
So far as these 53 Muslim countries are concerned, we have to see political conditions and the political system of these countries. Most of our Muslim countries, there is no rule of law, and then you will see that journalists are working under certain conditions, depressed conditions. And the question rises here that what is the message of Islam which should be sent through these Muslim journalists to the West and Europe? That is another question. We have no, just Dr. Saab has also told this, we have no other academies or other institutions, training centers to give them certain knowledge, certain education about the basic concept of Muslim journalism, or journalism of truthfulness, journalism of credibility. Now you just analyze here in Pakistan the journalists and their media and media, electronic media, news, print media, and other media. Day-to-day affairs, they are so much mixed up with other political motives that you cannot find out what we are going to deliver.
So
we don't teach.
You think are there some hopes to improve quality of media in Muslim countries?
As I was tracing out the history as to what the Muslim community wants to do about media ethics and media, as you have rightly pointed out, that the basic role of the Muslim journalists should be to present the point of view of Islam across to the other countries of the world.
Because this is time to promote Islamic culture, not only in particular or specific zone or territory. It is a message for all.
Yes.
People should know what is Islam and how Islam teaches brotherhood, respect, intercultural relationship, and harmony among different cultural groups. So it would create healthy atmosphere in the world. But unfortunately, our brothers and sisters, those who are living in different cultures, they haven't understood properly their responsibilities. Because Islam is not only a responsibility of few people, it is onward transmission which asks you to go for knowledge and convey to the recipient who are waiting on receiving end. So in this regard, because
you are very right, Dr.
You are a senior journalist.
You are very, very right.
But Dr. Is there some thing different from Muslim journalism or international journalism, or should media represent what it sees? Should media be treated as literature? Should media be treated as a camera, what it sees around it?
Dear viewers, these are the basic questions which were raised by Professor Haroon Rasheed. Naturally, we will be discussing the same with Professor Haroon Rasheed, but we have to go for a short break. Please stay with us. We would come back soon. Welcome back in our program Islam in the Contemporary World, and discussion is about media and ethics. Professor Haroon Rasheed is here to discuss about some basic questions which you raised by yourself.
Yes, I was rather discussing, and I mean, you see, sharing with Munawar Saab and you also, that these are few things which we have to discuss, we have to analyze. What is the role of media? Keeping aside the Muslim
media.
Non-Muslim media.
Okay.
What is the role of media?
You mean media is media?
Media.
Okay.
What you observe in your society, what your journalist, your anchor person, your political thinkers, your social thinkers think, and they want to discuss those topics in Muslim country or in West or in Europe. That is the basic question. What is its role? What it should be? Dr.
Yes.
Will you please throw some light?
Actually, what Haroon Saab has raised as a question is, okay, what should be the media ethics for a Muslim journalist, and what should be its difference with the Western? What else should be the difference between a secular and a Muslim media code of ethics? So as I was pointing out, that all the scholars and professionals of Muslim world, when they gathered together in Jakarta in 1981, they laid two basic fundamentals for a media code of ethics for a Muslim journalist. Number one was Tawheed.
Monotheism.
Yes.
Oneness of God.
Oneness of God. A Muslim whether he's a journalist or whether he's a citizen or whether he's anything, if he's a Muslim, he is accountable to God.
Exactly. This is
Sovereignty
our belief.
In a Muslim country, for a Muslim, sovereignty lies with God and not the state.
That is the firm belief of a Muslim.
Firm belief of the Muslim.
Because absolute power
And
belongs to Allah.
What it does is that he frees you from all other sorts of subservience. You are not to obey any other person. You are not to obey any other thing. You have to obey only just one Allah.
Yeah.
And this is a very singular thing. Therefore, a Muslim journalist, like a Muslim citizen, being a Muslim, he has to be accountable to God. He has to be accountable to Allah, Tabarak wa Ta'ala. And therefore, his commitment should also be there. And now, Islam is not meant for just for Muslims only.
Yeah.
It is meant for the whole humanity.
Exactly.
Therefore,
Exactly.
his basic purpose should be keeping himself truthful,
Yeah.
keeping his integrity as a Muslim. He should try to send the message, inform the message with all truthfulness,
Yeah. And
to the world.
Yeah. I must add up.
keeping his accountability also.
I must add up one thing.
Yes.
And really, you summarized so many things in a few seconds. But I must add up one thing. That
Yes, Doctor.
we are professionals. Naturally, from different professions we work. And naturally, media itself is a profession. Profession doesn't mean to be harsh,
Nasty.
to be non-serious, or to feel yourself superior. Rather than having all these negative things in your mind, look at Quran and the Sunnah, the life of the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He is a greatest example for humanity. While he used to talk his companion, he is so nice, he is so humble, he is so flexible, he is so submissive that one can assume that, oh my God, this is Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And the other person, he admitted that Allah is one, and this is a true messenger of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, who conveyed message of Allah through his character. So we people being on this earth representing Quran and Sunnah, and that's why Quran says kuntum khayra ummatin ukhrijat lin-nas ta'muruna bil ma'ruf wa tanhauna 'anil munkar. Media is solely responsible for this message. There must be a group of people for good deeds. And if we paint our picture outside of our countries, that we are committed with these sort of activities, then naturally it would create a wrong image of Muslim Ummah in the world. So media is a true messenger of our religion and culture to promote relationship with non-Muslims and impact on their minds and culture to bring them closer to Islamic teachings. So next day they might understand what is Islam and what is
But
message.
here is another thing.
Yeah, this is to me it is sort of a religious service. The media means spiritual service.
You are very right, Dr. Saab. What you have just pointed out, that the second covenant given to the journalists by the scholars of the Muslims
Yeah.
and the intellectuals was to exactly the same, maruf, to establish maruf
Yeah,
and to do away with munkar.
exactly.
That is, they have to see that the right is established in the society while the evil or the wrong
Yeah,
is eliminated from the society. And this should be done in a very professional manner,
Exactly.
as you have pointed out.
yeah,
Being a professional, it binds you that you become more and more humble.
exactly.
Being an educated and a trained person, it makes you submissive. And when you send any message, and being the message of Islam, which is meant for the whole humanity, because even Allah is not just Rabbul Muslimin, He is Rabbul Alameen.
Yeah.
So we are duty bound. And if we are a media man, as you have said, that basically the purpose of the media should be for the Muslim countries is that to explicitly convey the message of Islam And that should be done in such a subtle manner.
Media is a bridge among nations.
Of course.
So, coming to Professor Haroon Rasheed, I must say that there are certain rules and regulations of Islam, not only for media, for our daily lives. It includes media as well. Quran says, "Qulu linnasi husna." Be nice
With the people.
with the people. And we usually observe on screens that anchor becomes rash, abnormal, treats his seniors like Tom and Jerry. So you think it is it
No, it's not.
is it
It's
a
not
reflection
appreciable.
of our culture and
No,
music?
Dr. Qadri, it's not appreciable in any way.
Exactly.
What I think that nowadays our young compares an anchor person. Not only they humiliate their seniors, but sometimes it appears that they want their guest to speak what actually they want, the anchor person. They put their words in their mouth, and if the guest disagrees with them, then they started disrespecting him, dishonoring him.
This is
Yesterday I was watching a television
Actually,
program.
let me mention here, Nabi Kareem sallallahu alaihi wasallam. He was the best in the world,
Best.
in the universe.
Best of the world.
And Quran says he is a role model, he is a paradigm. When companions of Holy Prophet Muhammad used to sit with him, he used to ask these companions to say something. If there is difference of opinion, but these companions, they respected each other, and they never raised their voice before Holy Prophet ﷺ. And that's why there is Quranic ayah, لا ترفعوا أصواتكم فوق صوت النبي. Never raise
Your wife.
your voice before Nabi Kareem
louder than
ﷺ.
them. Yes.
This is ethics.
Yes.
And it teaches us that we should be respectful to each other, and there must be some manners and norms to be followed by everybody who is
How
Muslim.
many anchor person and compare are there in our channels? You can count them on your fingers. They are only 5 to 10. Otherwise, remaining. Yesterday I was watching a television program that was being telecast from Dubai. A young lady, hardly 35 to 40, she was asking different questions from a religious leader or Alim-e-Din. She was so harsh with him when he disagreed with her. She said, what Maulana Sahib you are saying? You don't know, what are you saying? You don't talk like that. And that man was taken aback. He was stunned. He was silent. He said, Bibi, you just listen to me. You are quite younger to me. What I am saying, but she did not.
There must be some code of conduct, some code of ethics for media. Not only for media, but for our lives. The last prophet, Muhammad Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam, has taught us how to behave. Right now, we are in a beautiful discussion, but have to go for a short break. Please stay with us. We will be with you very soon. Welcome back in our program, Islam in the Contemporary World, and today's discussion is about media and ethics. So, as Professor Haroon Rasheed behavioristic approach of our media people. So it is not only a reflection of our behavior, it would reflect behavior of Muslim Ummah in the non-Muslim world. So how could we control this, or what kind of procedures should be adopted in media so that they would truly making an image of Muslim Ummah in the world?
Haroon Sahab is very correct, and you are also very correct and reflective of what is going on in the media today. First of all, let us look at the real problem or the issue with us.
Okay.
The thing is, which is rampant in our society, we do not care about education, neither about training. Our academic institutions, where we should have taught these media sciences, they have not raised their professional courses, their standards, neither their training. One. Secondly, these media channels, they have not bothered to get the educated young who are qualified. They have simply just selected anyone and they have come. If you just look at the texture of our anchors, you will come to know that very few of them are really qualified. Very few of them are really have the editorial judgment, but they should, or even what to say of editorial judgment, they do not even have the judgment of their subject. So until and unless we get trained, educated persons in these fields, and this has to be done at our academic institutions at the university level, we have to do it. We have not done it in the past, but let us, since we have started giving licenses to so many media, one after the other, and we are raising every day we are hearing that the number is being raised. So if we want to maintain a standard, as you have said, that we want to make an image of the Muslim anchors and Muslim media men.
Exactly.
So we will have to train them professionally. We have to educate them. We have to realize the importance of education. We have to make them really, at least if they have not the master of their trade, at least they should be jack of at least their trade, so that at least it should reflect. They should know what is to be a media man. They should know what is editorial judgment. They should know what sort of a question, what should be the attitude, what should be the presentation. This has to be trained.
Exactly. Yeah. And Professor Haroon, Rasheed, I think in media we should not be judgmental. We should be open for all. And hikmat, which is a wisdom, which is a true success of life, is not an asset of any nation.
Yes, it is.
Knowledge is for all.
Yes.
And the Holy Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, in his life, he has taught us how to live in this world and how to grab knowledge. But unfortunately, we have narrowed down knowledge channels, and we expanded our interest channels, and there is no balance of power, check and balance, and ethics is mostly gone, or in some areas there are ethics for Muslim. I'm not totally disappointed with the community behavior, but still we need to upgrade.
Yes, here I want to mention another thing, that is the lack of our good mannerism in our books and curriculum.
Yeah.
As Munawar Sahab was telling us about this particular deficiency which we have in our academic society, it has led towards a crisis. Now you see, there are certain channels and very few of them are delivering good. It's a fact. But thing is that the anchor person or the chairperson or the compare who particularly talks on a significant topic must come fully prepared. What we experienced, they simply try to get knowledge from their guest, and when they come to this conclusion that this man is disagreeing with our set policy, they start disrespecting him.
It is sort of harassment.
Actually, Dr. Saab, this is
harassment.
This is called agenda setting. In terms of professional media, this is called agenda setting.
But not necessarily that everybody is doing this.
But of course, some of them are doing it.
There is exception.
Probably I had raised one question in between.
Yes,
sure.
I feel that the problem actually with them is not that they are so much attuned to agenda setting, lack of training, lack of education. That has become the real problem with them. We have to make what you can call a very minute analysis of what is going on in our media, and this should be done by some impartial body. It should not be allowed to just be a thing for certain columns writers or of certain writers of the media. This should be done at the highest academic levels.
Yeah,
It should be universities, research should be done at there. This should be the topic of thesis.
Here I will suggest one thing.
Yeah, please.
That there should be a separate particular chapter
Yeah.
in our social sciences.
Yeah. Social sciences are most important for us.
Yes, regarding the importance of media in the modern era, one thing. The second thing, that particular chapter must carry some weight, and teachers like Mirza Sahab, who has served in different channels.
He is teaching at the university right now.
Haroon Sahab is very kind, I must say.
This is what I have observed.
I see here that
Yes,
like a
yes.
relationship between these two scholars shows and conveys message of respect to our friends, and especially our youngsters, how to behave with each other. Difference of opinion may be carried out, it can be, but with certain limitations.
Dr. Qadri, we must appreciate and we must confess our intellectuals.
Exactly.
We must promote their knowledge in universities, in schools, and colleges. And here I want to suggest that person like him and others, they should come forward.
Yeah.
They should give suggestions to the Academic Council of Universities and to the Intermediate Board, that this is the present nowadays when we are discussing each and everything in detail. We discuss politics, we discuss religion, we discuss our social evils, we discuss the crisis of cost and hike in prices, when discuss the immature behavior of our new generation. So there must be some way of talking, there must be some decent way of presentation. Where should we learn? From where?
Exactly, and believe me, I was anxious to continue with this academic discussion, but we are running by shortage of time, and we have to follow these basic rules for communication, and naturally it was a beautiful discussion, and I loved to continue with this.
So it was a pleasure to be here.
We have understood this, so following our convention or tradition. Thank you much, Professor Munawar Mirza, being with us, and Professor Haroon Rasheed. Really, I'm thankful to you on behalf of QTV and our friends of QTV. Dear viewers, this was a great message that we should follow norms in the light of ethics, and ethics means Islam. I believe Islam would tell us how to behave with others. This is onward transmission. Thank you very much for being with us, and I believe we have got whatever we thought. For time being, I would say, Khuda Hafiz, goodbye.